Hello! If you're watching this video, you probably need help to decrease stitches in your beanies. Does not matter what type of beanies you are working on. Just make sure that when you start decreasing stitches, you are doing this in the right spot. So for longer beanie, like slouchy beanie, I would suggest that you will start decreasing much higher than your regular beanie. And usually you start decreasing gradually the regular shape beanie, and when you're making a slouchy beanie you can reduce stitches very drastically. So it is all your preference. Would you like to have beanie that gradually will reduce stitches, or would you like to have just all stitches work almost to the top and then just cut them kind of in half? With this particular pattern, the important thing is before you start decreasing, you need to finish with your repeated cluster row. You can start decreasing right away, or you can make one cross stitch a regular way and start decreasing in your next stitch. So let me show you both. So let's say now is the time for me to decrease. Normally we will make a between clusters. And in this case, to decrease, we will make in between 2 double crochet stitches from the second cluster. So you're skipping one cluster and a half, and you're making your regular crossed double crochet stitch. And again, once you make one stitch, remember to go under and from the front where the other stitch has been connected. So nothing changes how you're making the stitch. What changes is only the placement of your hook. And we need to finish this one, so we need to again skip 3 double crochet, which will be cluster in half, to go back to regular way like we're doing our cross stitches. So this one really is not that difficult to make. You just have to pay attention when you're placing stitches. And what is easy too, you can see right away that you decrease by 1 stitch because you took 3 stitches and you made only 2. So for a slouchy beanie, you do this more aggressively, so you can make this every other stitch, which I just make 1 regular and I will make again decreases. And of course I will show you with the different color yarn because it will be more visible, but also I want to show you when you're working with one color yarn, it's actually easy to spot as well. How I mentioned, you can see you making 3 stitches into 2. Okay, let's move to the different color yarn. So we will do exactly the same thing. I already make 2 regular cross stitches. Now I'm skipping 1 cluster and I'm placing my hook in the middle of the second cluster. Now I go back and place my second stitch in the space that I make my previous one. So our cross stitches will be always connecting each other. And now again I'm skipping half and full cluster, and I'm placing my hook in between those 2 double crochet stitches where I make my previous cross stitch. So I really hope this information is helpful and will help you with this pattern. It is very easy pattern once you get used to the stitches. You can decrease stitches as often as you need, or you can just follow the direction I place in my pattern. It's all your personal preference how you like your beanie to look on the top. Do you want to have more snug or more room in the top of your head? And as promised, let me show you one more thing how to decrease in the first stitch. So normally you are making 1 double crochet stitch and you're going back in between cluster, but in this case you're going again between 1 and half cluster. So once you count those 3 double crochet stitches, you will just place your hook, and this is decreasing stitches right away with the first stitch. So nothing changed later, you just work your regular or decreases cross stitches. And lastly, let me show you how to close the beanie. Once you have 30 stitches, which you should have 15 clusters or less, you will make only one half double crochet stitch in between each cross stitch. That will decrease your number of stitches by half. So if I have 30 stitches, I will make only, instead of 2 double crochet, only one half double crochet stitch in between each cross stitch, and I will have 15 stitches. In the next round, I will do 2 half double crochet stitches together. That will decrease stitches even further and will reduce my stitch count again by half. So I will have 7 half double crochet at the end. When you have only 7, 6, 5, any number of stitches less than 10, it's time to completely close your beanie. And this is how I do that. I use the needle and I will thread the yarn tail through front loops only. And then I place my needle in between my little tiny circle. I tie it around my stitches and I'm done. So this is the final product. I have slouchy beanie, and you can flip the brim, and regular size beanie, which is a little bit shorter. It's more snug, but this one you can flip brim and make it flip brim beanie. Thank you for watching and supporting handmade art. I hope I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day.